This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Welcome to the news at noon on this Friday. I'm Lauren Casey with Todd Clausen, and we want to get right down to it. Your forecast, it could impact those weekend plans.
Yeah, especially if you have plans this evening, that wintry mix is going to come in, and definitely there could be some slick spots as we get into the evening hours. The winter weather advisory will go into effect starting at 7 p.m. tonight for all the counties you see in purple, and it's almost all the counties here in central Indiana, just missing a few here down in southern locations. Bloomington, Columbus, Greensboro, you are not under the winter weather advisory, although I think you'll see a little bit of mixed precipitation, but just not enough to warrant that advisory being in place for your area. As far as what's happening right now, just cloudy skies across most of central Indiana. It's chilly. Temperatures are only in the mid-20s. There's a wind out there, putting wind chill values in the teens, but the focus here is going to be on the precipitation that is going to be moving in. You notice the clouds are in place all across the area. A few returns coming in here just to the west of Terre Haute. That is not reaching the ground, but as we expand out, here is the storm system, and there's a lot of moisture to work with, and this is what's going to be moving in over the course of really the next 24 hours. The only wintry part of this storm system is going to be at the onset, for us at least. So look for some snow to develop towards late afternoon, early evening across western locations, and it will spread across most of the area by 9 p.m. The heaviest accumulating snow will be to the north. You notice to the south where that advisory is not in place, you miss out on some of this precipitation. There could be a round of freezing rain late tonight, early tomorrow morning before we go over to all rain, working our way into the morning hours tomorrow. Temperatures will climb as the storm system moves in. That's why we have that transition to rain. Any ice and or snow that does fall, Lauren, that is going to melt away pretty quickly with the temperatures above freezing and all the rain that we'll see throughout the day on Saturday. In fact, we don't get rid of the precipitation until Saturday evening. We'll talk specific snowfall totals for you and ice accumulation coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. New details in a tragic story we've been tracking for months now about the death of a little girl from South Bend. Court documents just released say the grandfather who dropped her from the cruise ship window was, quote, unquestionably aware that the window was open. The family of Salvatore Anello sued Royal Caribbean for failing to install safety devices on a window that he says he didn't realize was open. Royal Caribbean now wants the case dismissed, saying surveillance video shows the man leaning out of the same window and held the girl out of it before she fell. Anello faces up to 3 years of prison if he is convicted. Right now at the IndyChannel.com, you can read all of the information from the court documents that are part of the response from Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. It includes the evidence they say implicates the grandfather. Just click on this story in the RTV6 app or the IndyChannel.com. Metro Police continue to investigate a homicide on the city's west side. Officers were called out for a person down near 23rd and Groff Avenue around 1:30 this morning. When officers arrived, they found a man dead on the sidewalk near Centennial Park. Police say that they had very little information on what may have led up to that man's death. And a man is in custody after a police chase ended in a crash on Indy's south side. This happened around 11:20 last night. Officers say a narcotics investigation led to this pursuit. The SUV fled down multiple alleys before it hit a minivan on Hervey Street, that's near Raymond and Shelby Streets. No serious injuries were reported. Well, they can't say anything while inside the Senate chamber for the coming impeachment trial of President Trump, but senators still have plenty to say outside of the Capitol. And as ABC's Serena Marshall tells us, some familiar faces will now be on the defense team for the president next week.
Right hand.
The oaths are taken.
Do you solemnly swear?
The stage is set.
On the part of the House will be received and escorted to the well of the Senate.
As the historic impeachment trial of President Trump officially begins Tuesday, where the senators, for only the third time in American history, now officially jurors in a presidential impeachment trial, responsible for reviewing the evidence and considering the charges that President Trump abused his office and obstructed Congress. New allegations against President Trump have Democrats saying this bolsters their argument witnesses and evidence must be presented.
It was all about 2020 to make sure he had another 4 years. That was the way everybody viewed it.
Like the explosive allegations from Lev Parnas, the indicted associate of the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. He says the president knew all about the pressure campaign on Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. And a new report from the nonpartisan government watchdog, which says the White House did break the law by withholding military aid to Ukraine, writing, faithful execution of the law does not permit the president to substitute his own policy priorities for those that Congress has enacted into law. The White House disagreeing with that conclusion. Republicans continue to say the president committed no crime. The president insists
it's a hoax. It's a hoax. Everybody knows that.
As the president's legal team is now being finalized. In addition to the White House lawyer Pat Cipollone and private counsel Jay Sekulow, the team also likely to include Alan Dershowitz and former special prosecutor in the Clinton impeachment, Ken Starr.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he plans to force a vote on witnesses come Tuesday, and while at least 4 moderate Republicans have indicated they are open to hearing from witnesses, many are also saying they want to wait until the trial is underway to make that decision. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
A fundraiser for a beloved Indianapolis restaurant that caught fire over the weekend will be held next week. Country Kitchen is teaming up with Radio 1 for a donation drive to benefit employees of this business. The owners say they want to make sure that workers have support while the restaurant is shut down. That fundraiser is running from noon to 5 next Tuesday at Country Kitchen, 1831 North College Avenue. You can drive by to make a cash donation, and you can also donate through GoFundMe or Key Bank accounts. The 98th annual Indianapolis Home Show starts today, and it could be a great opportunity to get a little inspiration for your own home. They have more than 900 vendors this year, including some names you might recognize if you're a big HGTV fan. Here's a look right now at the centerpiece home that Davis Homes built inside of the expo hall. Whether you're a new homeowner or you're just looking for some new inspiration, the vendors say the home show has something for everyone.
It's great to get ideas out here. It's a place you can come and talk to lots of contractors, lots of people. We like it out here because our favorite part is we see returning clients come back that we've met out here, and we can find out how they like their outdoor living space.
Well, we have a promo code you can use to get a discount on your tickets. Just type RTV6 and check out. The race to pass the bills is underway, from teacher pay to mandates in the classroom. We're going to take a look at some of what happened inside of the Statehouse this past week, coming up next. And from rock and roll to Paw Patrol, tickets to some great shows are on sale right now at some great prices. Later, how you can treat the family without blowing your whole paycheck. Todd.
And Lauren, much of January has been above normal with pretty quiet conditions as far as wintry weather goes. That is changing this evening as a wintry mix will be moving in. We'll see some snow, some sleet, some freezing rain before going over to all rain. We'll break it down for you in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Case of Homes every Sunday morning at 11:30.
This week started with
the state of our state is stronger than ever.
Governor Holcomb did mention teacher pay during his State of the State speech. His plan? Transfer money from the state's budget surplus to the Teacher Retirement Fund. He says that would free up $50 million a year for local school districts, which they could use, if they so choose, to boost the salaries of teachers. It's similar to a plan offered by State Senate Democrats last week. The difference? Holcomb wants to wait until next year, a budget year. Democrats don't want to wait.
So, I was waiting for the big surprise, which I thought for sure was going to be that he found a way to get teachers a pay increase this year. But no surprise. You still have to wait.
The unanswered question, will this be enough to bring thousands of teachers back to the Statehouse to push for a raise before lawmakers finish their session less than 2 months from now? The state Senate overwhelmingly passed a bill that could keep guns out of the hands of teenage felons until long after they become adults. This bill would close a loophole that, for example, could impact the student who opened fire at Noblesville West Middle School. Let's say he has his record expunged after he turns 18. That means he would immediately be able to buy a gun. The bill that passed would bar a juvenile felon from having a gun until reaching at least age 26, and if it's a more serious juvenile crime, age 28. Republican Senator Dennis Cruz is again pushing a bill to mandate the display of this, the phrase, "In God We Trust," in every public and charter school classroom, and to make the schools pay for it. Senator Cruz did this last year, too. You may recall in the past, Cruz has also pushed to mandate the teaching of biblical creationism in science classes and to bar public school teachers from talking about sexuality, including sexual orientation and gender identity. This is a priority for conservative religious groups, and it is an election year, so we'll watch this one closely. There's much more from RTV6 Statehouse correspondent Matt McKinney right now at theindychannel.com. Working for you with Statehouse Roundup, Ray Steele, RTV6.
Ray, thank you. Think you can climb to the top of the One America Tower? Well, if you can help raise money for a great cause. Coming up, we'll preview the big Bop to the Top event downtown. And here's a look downtown at this hour. View to the west. We have some weather rolling this way for the evening as we get into the weekend. Todd Clausen is going to break that down for you coming up as we hit your Friday and we look ahead to your weekend. That'll be right back after the break.
$1 collected for our clients. This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
I'm Ted Rollins. Today on Court TV, we're covering trials in Florida and New York. Half the jurors in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial have been picked today. The selection process continues despite a defense motion with the appellate court to halt proceedings and move the trial out of Manhattan. Yesterday, supermodel Gigi Hadid was dismissed from the jury pool. She had previously told the judge she could keep an open mind, even though she knew one of the alleged victims and had met Harvey Weinstein. Opening statements are scheduled for next week. We're also in Pensacola, Florida for the witchcraft triple murder trial. 63-year-old Donald Hartung is accused of killing his mother and two half-brothers. Hartung told investigators he practices the Wiccan religion and allegedly told an informant that a Ouija board gave him the green light to kill his family. We'll have continuing coverage of both trials throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
You can learn more about other court cases happening around the nation right now by visiting courttv.com. Well, the city of Carmel has officially brought back their heated igloos just in time for this cold weekend. The 6 little structures are set up around Center Green and they're fully furnished. They come complete with comfy couches, chairs, and rugs. The igloos are also close to the ice skating rink and multiple on-site vendors. They are free to use and they're open to all on a first-come, first-served basis. And we may need an igloo in the weather that we have coming this evening. Todd, what can we expect for our Friday night?
You know, it's going to be a little rough, I think, for a few hours here before the warmer air starts to move in. But honestly, if you can get home this evening, which I think most people can from work, just hunker down. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it'll be a thing of the past. It'll still be raining tomorrow morning, but it'll be just plain old rain as temperatures will be climbing into the mid-40s. But this evening, that's when the wintry mix is going to make its way into the area, and especially north of Interstate 70. That's where we could run into some slippery conditions. So the only wintry part of the storm system is at the beginning. Temperatures right now are sitting in the 20s, cold enough to support snow for everybody, but this system will be bringing some warmer air with it, and that warmer air is going to move in first in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's what sets us up for the potential for at least some freezing rain. It's pretty windy out there. Wind chill values are in the teens right now, so you just need to bundle up if you're going to be out and about as you start to prepare your trip home from work here later on this afternoon, or maybe you're home already. The radar is pretty quiet right now. Some returns showing up near Terre Haute. That is not reaching the ground as of yet, but we'll start to see some flurry action make its way into western portions of the state this afternoon. The heavier precip still a little ways off to our west. That's not going to roll in until after sunset. So as we jump ahead here to 9:30, you notice the snow's falling quite heavily across northern portions of the area already, though mixing with some freezing rain. And then down to the south, we're dealing with just dry conditions, but this will fill in across all of the area, the precipitation. And even by midnight, we're still dealing with likely some freezing rain, even some snow, but the rain is starting to take over as we get into the early morning hours on Saturday. And by the time we get to 4 o'clock in the morning, it should be all rain, and that rain will continue though for a good chunk of the day on Saturday. Saturday. It's probably not until Saturday evening that we see the rain come to an end, and there could be some flooding that takes place across parts of the area because the ground is still completely saturated. As far as the snow potential goes, again, it's right at the beginning of this system. Lafayette, say to Kokomo, over towards Gas City and points to the north, about 1 to 2 inches of snow accumulation, maybe a little along I-70 here in the metro area, less than an inch though. Bloomington to Greensburg down towards Seymour, not expecting much in the way of wintry weather for you. As far as ice potential goes, there will be a period late tonight, early tomorrow morning that some ice will start to build up, but we're talking about a couple hundredths of an inch. What does that mean to you? Well, that means on our impact scale here, freezing rain with 1 being low and 5 being high. We're not talking about branches coming down. We're not talking about power outages. We are talking about the potential, though, for some slick roads, some sidewalks that go unsalted. So there will be the potential for a little bit in the way of slippery weather this evening, but keep in mind the temperatures come up overnight. They do not fall overnight, and so by the time you walk out the door tomorrow morning, any ice or any snow should have melted away with the warmer temperatures and the rain. Tomorrow we get up to near 50 degrees. That's pretty early in the day, and then the temperatures start to fall very, very quickly, and by Sunday we're at 19. Monday we're at 23. Those are high temperatures. Low temperatures will be in the single digits. Wind chills well below zero both Sunday and Monday morning, and then temperatures do moderate as we get to the middle of next week. But this evening from 7 o'clock till about 2 o'clock Saturday morning, look for the potential, Lauren, of some slippery conditions.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, it is time to bop to the top once again. For the 37th year, more than 1,000 people of all ages are going to start on the ground floor of the One America Tower downtown, walk all the way up to the top. The big event is set for tomorrow morning, and with me is Don Carr of Tuxedo Brothers, which sponsors this event every year. Don, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Talk to me a little bit about Bop to the Top and what exactly that is.
All right, first of all, it is a 36-store floor stair climb up the One America Tower building. We do it once a year in January. It's a big benefit for Riley Hospital. What we do is we time people individually as they go up to the top. We take all morning to do it. We do send one person off every 20 seconds. We have 2 staircases that go nonstop. So it's open to the public. It's open to all ages and abilities.
Wow. So are people on teams or are they doing this individually?
Well, actually, we do have some teams, but they can just do it individually. And like I said, it's fun to do for families. Bring kids to do it. There's no time limit. You can do it. Most people do it in 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can sign up. You can have a 4-person team that can do it. We add the times together. We do give out awards at the end of the day for those that want to be competitive.
Okay. Really run up those stairs, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
And how is that for people who are thinking at home, like, oh, that's this many floors? Is it pretty difficult, or you said kids can do it?
Yeah, anyone can do it. It's some people actually train to do it competitively. Others just show up to do it just for the challenge.
Okay.
And like I said, we have people that just show up, and it might surprise you that it doesn't take that long. I mean, 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but,
that's not too bad.
Not too bad, sure.
And it benefits Riley. Talk to me about the registration. Is it still open? We know it's tomorrow morning.
It is tomorrow. You can still register up online at our website up through 8 o'clock tonight at tuxbro.com, tuxbro.com, or you can just show up tomorrow morning between 8 and 11:30 and sign up on site.
Okay.
And you can do it right then and there.
All right, in the One America Tower.
One America Tower, downtown Indianapolis, yes.
All right, Don, thanks so much, and we hope you guys raise a lot of money for Riley.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back after this short break.
800-850-5054.
Some big concert tickets at a deep discount. Old National Center is offering what it's calling its holiday hangover sale. You can find $25 tickets for several shows, including comedian Martin Short, country stars Maddie and Tay, hip-hop stars Young Dolph and Key Glock, and for your kids, the Paw Patrol live show. For some shows, tickets will run you only $20, and that includes the Ultimate 80s Party starring Tiffany. The sale runs through Sunday, January 26th. All you have to do is go to the website on your screen and use the promo code HANGOVER.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'd buy you a house, I would buy you a house.
Bare Naked Ladies coming back to Indy. They'll be at White River State Park on July 5th. They'll be joined by Gin Blossoms and Toad and the Wet Sprocket. Tickets are on sale next Friday, January 24th. And we may be thinking about the summer concerts, Todd, this weekend because it's going to be a little chilly out there.
It will be. A winter weather advisory goes into effect this evening at 7 p.m. for most of the area. Look for snow to develop. Could see up to a half an inch of snow in the city, more to the north, and then going over to a little bit of freezing rain late tonight. All rain, though, in the forecast tomorrow.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thanks for joining us. We hope you have a great weekend.